Hi everyone. Now I am going to tell you how to study biochemistry for next. So you all know that that pattern is changing. Now we are going towards more towards clinical aspects, and definitely it's essential also. Keeping in the mind, I have started clinical biochemistry decoded. We will discuss all the clinical aspect of biochemistry in many sessions. So today we start session 1. I have already covered pyruvate dehydrogenase. That's why I will try to correlate all the aspects of pyruvate dehydrogenase in clinical manner. So, without wasting our time, we start with the first question. That is, a 48-year-old male with excessive drinking over an extended period of time. You all know that chronic alcohol intake lead to thiamine deficiency. A frequently asked question that alcohol inhibit the absorption of vitamin B1, that is thiamine. Okay. Now, next point is while eating poorly. Yes, why it is important? Yes, B1 or usually not synthesized by animals, so must be taken in diet. In chronic alcoholism, if the person is taking poor diet, definitely it will lead to vitamin or it will add to the vitamin B1 deficiency. Now, next point, admitted to hospital with high output heart failure. Yes, high output heart failure means previous 2 points are going taking us towards B1 deficiency diagnosis. Now the question is saying high output heart failure, and you know B1 deficiency lead to beriberi. These are of two type: dry beriberi, wet beriberi. And in wet beriberi there is a high output cardiac failure. So this question suggests B1 deficiency. Clinical diagnosis हमने बना ली. We made the diagnosis, clinical diagnosis. Now the question is, which enzyme is most likely inhibited? Before going to that, I would like to mention few essential points about B1. B1 is required for carbohydrate metabolism. As you know, glucose is converted to pyruvate by glycolysis. That occur in cytosol. I have already told you. Yes, just to revise. Pyruvate is Pyruvate enter the mitochondria, and then pyruvate is converted to acetyl coenzyme A. Pyruvate, a 3 carbon compound, is converted to 2 carbon compound by oxidative decarboxylation, and the cofactor is vitamin B1. Got the point? So, and in Krebs cycle also, this vitamin B1 is required. So, in B1 deficiency, carbohydrate will not be metabolized properly. Got the point? And we know that the most vital organ, those are heart and nervous tissue, utilize glucose at very rapid rate. So they require more and more ATP in a rapid fashion. And when B1 is deficient, these organs are not getting sufficient amount of or utilizing sufficient amount of carbohydrate to provide or to produce sufficient energy to fulfill their energy requirement or metabolic requirement, and that lead to clinical manifestation. As in this question, there is high output cardiac failure, heart failure. As this B1 deficient, heart is affected, that lead to wet beriberi. And if nervous tissue is affected, that lead to dry beriberi. And if frequently asked question, you are to remember, yes, in chronic B1 deficiency, there is Wernicke's encephalopathy. Wernicke's encephalopathy, and if it is not treated, that further lead to Korsakoff psychosis. Korsakoff psychosis. So all these are question. Every point written on the slide is question. Now let me describe. Yes, pyruvate. Pyruvate is having how many carbon? You all know, 3 carbon. Is converted to acetyl coenzyme A. Yes, having how many carbon? 2 carbon. When 3 carbon compound is converted to 2 carbon compound, CO2 is removed. That is called decarboxylation, and the name of enzyme is pyruvate dehydrogenase. So NAD, whenever dehydrogenase is there, removal of hydrogen will be taken up by NAD to form NADH. Clear? So this is oxidative decarboxylation. Yes, oxidative decarboxylation. This is oxidative decarboxylation. Now Alpha ketoglutarate is converted to succinyl coenzyme. I told you the carbon atom of few compounds. I assure you, if you remember number of carbon of only few compound, you may remember only 15 to 20. That is sufficient to remember the complete biochemistry. For the time being, wherever you find the word glutamate, glutarate, alpha ketoglutarate, glutamate, glutamine, how many carbon? 5. So for the time being, glutarate, glutamate, glutamine. Okay, all are having how many carbon? 5 carbon. Succinyl coenzyme, yes, you can remember by the, yes, this U looks like 4. So succinyl coenzyme is having how many carbon? 4 carbon. This is very important. We are starting phase of biochemistry, and trust me, we are making the base. Definitely I am taking somewhat more time, but it is essential. So succinyl is having 4 carbon, alpha ketoglutarate is having 5 carbon. So 5 carbon is converted to 4 carbon, 1 carbon is removed. Removal of carbon dioxide is called decarboxylation, and the enzyme is alpha ketoglutarate dehydrogenase. And hydrogen is removed, that is taken by NAD to form NADH. Removal of hydrogen is oxidation. Removal of carbon dioxide is decarboxylation. So oxidative decarboxylation. Both of these reactions are example of oxidative decarboxylation, and the cofactor is vitamin B1. I have already told you. In simple decarboxylation, let me mention here, simple decarboxylation cofactor is B6. And I have already told you in the previous lecture, yes, simple decarboxylation, histidine to histamine, tryptophan to serotonin, glutamate to GABA. Clear? Now, the third reaction, isocitrate. Isocitrate or citrate is having C. C मतलब 6. ऐसे बना लेते हैं C को. Citrate is having 6. Okay, 6 carbon. Citrate, isocitrate is having 6 carbon, is converted to alpha ketoglutarate. I just told you, glutarate, glutamate, glutamine. How many carbon? 5 carbon. A 6 carbon compound is converted to 5 carbon compound, means CO2 is removed. Removal of CO2 is called decarboxylation, and the name of enzyme is isocitrate dehydrogenase. Dehydrogenase means removal of hydrogen. Removal of hydrogen is called oxidation. So NAD is converted to NADH. I told you, wherever in complete biochemistry dehydrogenase is there, removal of hydrogen will be taken up either by NAD, FAD, NADP, or sometimes O2 to form H2O2, but most commonly NAD to form NADH. So this is also oxidative decarboxylation. Oxidative decarboxylation. So cofactor should be, it is not B1. To be more precise, B1 is, now write, B1 यहाँ पे लिखते हैं, write down, B1 is cofactor for oxidative decarboxylation of alpha keto acid. Yes, this alpha keto acid is important. Alpha keto. So B1 is cofactor in these two, but not this. That's why in the previous question, yes, the answer is alpha ketoglutarate dehydrogenase, that is keto acid. Okay, yes. Now, next point, yes, B1 is essential cofactor for, yes, oxidative decarboxylation of alpha keto acid. I have already told you, and those alpha keto acids are pyruvate, alpha ketoglutarate, and branch chain alpha keto acids. Yes, so 3 enzyme, pyruvate dehydrogenase complex, alpha ketoglutarate dehydrogenase complex, and branch chain alpha keto acid ki dehydrogenase complex require B1 as cofactor. Now. Now question is asked, thiamine pyrophosphate or vitamin B1 is cofactor for. This question has been asked many times in different competitive exam and with slight modification with different answers. Let me explain. Thymine pyrophosphate is cofactor for transketolase. This is true. B1 is cofactor for transketolase and this is required for HMP shunt. We will discuss later. For the time being, just remember transketolase enzyme involved in HMP shunt and transketolase require B1 as cofactor. And I have already told you that B1 is cofactor for oxidative decarboxylation of alpha keto acid. Clear. Now, in alpha keto acid decarboxylation, there was production of NADH, yes or no? Yes. NADH was produced. NADH enter mitochondria in electron transport chain to produce 2.5 ATP. Yes. Now, question is asked, thymine pyrophosphate is cofactor 4. Both are correct, but we are to choose one. Then I will prefer to go with transketolase because transketolase is used, clinically used to estimate thymine level in blood. Question. Yes, to estimate or to detect thymine deficiency, we can, yes, estimate transketolase activity in blood, and if transketolase activity is decreased, means that means B1 is deficient. This is frequently asked question. Now, so if out of these two one to choose, I will go with option A. But if the same question is asked and I add one more thing, B1 is cofactor for energy production. Yes, energy production. Now you know energy is produced in oxidative decarboxylation. Now the answer would be B. The same question, different answer. If simply say thymine pyrophosphate is cofactor for, better to choose transketolase. But if they add word energy production, then the answer would be oxidative decarboxylation. These are questions. Many times these questions have been asked. But this is not the last. Very important recent development, and this may be asked in next and your NEET pattern question or aims also. Yes, thymine level is best monitored. Yes, best word is important. Option A, transketolase level in blood. Option B, thymine level in blood. In All India 202, this question was asked at the time we marked the answer transketolase level in blood. Even now, in most of the guides, you will find the answer, same answer. But recent development, there is HPLC, high performance liquid chromatography. We can detect thymine level in blood, both active form and, yes, inactive form can be detected by, means the active form thymine pyrophosphate can be detected by HPLC. So definitely it's a costly test. It costs around 8,000. If you talk about Lal Path Lab, then these samples are sent to USA. So means commonly we are using transketolase, but if we talk about the best, definitely best would be on option B. But if same question and is most commonly, thymine level is most commonly monitored by, then the answer would be A. But if best, the answer would be B. So these are few questions related to pyruvate dehydrogenase, but this is not the end of pyruvate dehydrogenase complex discussion. We will cover 3-4 questions more in the next session. So till then, just revise it so that we can correlate all these concepts to the more complicated part. Definitely I accept that this is a very complicated topic, but we can't avoid. The best thing is that in the next you will find that there are only few topics which are related to clinical aspects. That's why it would become simpler for us to with the next, but we will definitely will have to go in depth. Okay, thank you, take care.